All right. Recording is underway.
All right. Well, let's do this.
Let's do it.
All right. Here we go.
Fill them holes.
All of our holes.
That's staying in.
All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to Boss Rush After Dark. It's me, your host, LeRon Dawkins, here tonight. And back with me, as always, are my illustrious cohorts, Stephanie Kleemob, the mad pharmacist herself.
Hello, I'm just here relaxing while my cat gives me an arm massage. See, Corey, cats are awesome.
And the king of the podcast, Mr. Corey Derrig.
Setting goals and filling holes. That's what they say.
Oh, hell.
And back once again is the wonderful Matthew Kiel. What's up, dude?
I'm a surprise hole.
I don't even know how to attack that.
Surprise hole.
And being the person I am, I love a good hole just like the next person. So wow,
We all do. We all love a hole.
I think it's ingrained in our instinct to fill holes, too.
Well, let's just say
No
welcome
hole
back to
goes
Wednesday.
unfilled.
Yeah.
Might need some Gatorade in a half
from
hour,
the
but
league, no hole left behind.
yeah.
Hole left behind.
By the
Welcome
way,
back to Wednesday night, everybody.
speaking of
Holy cow!
holy moly.
Holy guacamole.
What were you about to say?
Oh.
Corey? What were you about to say?
Speaking of holes that need filled, I saw a picture online the other day of me and Matt when we filled our face holes with whiz and onions.
Cheesesteak. Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
What's a whiz and onion?
it's
It's
Is it like a
it's cheesesteak.
cheesesteak?
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I when I went to go see Matt in person.
Yep.
We hung out and
We
ate
hung out.
cheesesteaks and
And our Reba and I weren't married at the time, but Reba and Sonnet watched Corey and I just be two little boys. It was great.
it's true.
I'll fill my holes with cheesesteaks anytime.
It was worth it.
Okay, this is starting to get dirty.
Respect. Respect, Stephanie. Hey, it's after dark. We can do what we want with our holes.
I mean, this is
Yeah, LeRon, who are you to
okay,
judge?
you know what?
LeRon.
You know what?
Look,
I-
LeRon,
Yeah.
you're the only person here that thinks about filling our face holes with long pieces of meat, okay? It's dirty.
Well, and
I'm-
see, and
I'm
I'm just
gonna-
going to be the one to point out that where Corey is factually incorrect is cheesesteaks are actually shredded or diced up meat rather than one long piece.
It doesn't matter. It's all messy at the end.
Yes, it leaves you with a mess, but a full hole.
I have a very open mind here, but the whole
Sure
the
doesn't
whole-
sound like it.
The whole,
the whole
the complete or the whole?
in this instance complete. The food association thing is just killing me. No, that's one of my hard no's actually.
Good source of protein.
That's one of my hard no's. Like food related stuff. With other things like
Insertion is just not a thing for you. That's cool. That's fine.
That's fine.
I can respect that.
But there's so many shapely foods. You got hot dog, got cucumbers,
Banana.
You got zucchini, you got banana, you got popsicle on a hot summer day.
Mhm.
Oh,
Plantains.
we're not gonna talk about when people make the YouTube videos and the TikToks where they're fondling like a blood orange and it's like, come on guys, stop it.
Fondling a blood orange?
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about it. No, I'm not going to talk about it.
What is going on?
Oh, man.
I
Hey.
like how Stephanie's cat is like, hey.
Yeah.
Look,
attention
LeRon,
over here.
some of us like hot meat in our mouths, LeRon. Okay, you're just gonna have to accept that.
Hot
Suck it up.
Suck it.
Talk about our Patreon producers, please.
Oh man.
Who's filling the wallet holes, Corey?
Oh god. Yeah. If you want to support this train wreck of a show, you can go over to patreon.com/Boss Rush Network. A monthly
Swerve them potholes.
Patreon's a monthly subscription service where you can support your favorite creators directly. We offer 2 tiers, the $1 tier where you get this wonderful program 2 weeks early, as well as 4 other shows on the network. But if you want to be a Patreon producer, you can subscribe to the $5 tier and get early access, plus your name shouted out on this here program.
The whole shebang.
The whole shebang. So without further ado, our Patreon producers for this episode of Boss Rush After Dark are Adriel Munger, Celeste Roberts, my wife, Sana Dierig. Although after that beginning, she might unsubscribe. Francisco Santillan, Rebecca Jewell, and Prince Unsmooth Toes. I want to thank all of our Patreon producers. I want to thank all of our patrons, and I want to thank all of our free listeners. Remember, all of our content remains free. Just, helps.
We do it for you. You guys fill the holes in our hearts.
Yes. It's a pretty big hole to fill.
It's my second favorite song by Extreme.
Extreme holes.
Yep. Well, that's how the chorus goes. There's a hole in my heart that can only be filled by you.
By you.
Music, yes.
Music, yes. I've heard of this.
Yes. I've heard of this music. Yeah. If you listen on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please leave a 5-star rating or review. It really helps.
Helps for discoverability of these holes.
Yes.
And
if you want to discover our holes, please subscribe.
Yeah. I mean, who wouldn't want to listen to this all over the world?
I just like how of the 4 of us, LeRon is just the most exasperated
I know.
by this.
I don't understand.
This is the first time I've ever seen this dynamic.
Usually, LeRon's the one starting.
Usually, like it's usually when I'm here, it's Stephanie, LeRon, and I kind of just vibing, having a good time, and Corey's like, "What's going on?"
Well, usually I'm like trying to just staple my eyes open because I'm so tired.
Yeah, I think Corey and I have switched tonight
It's
because
because
I'm in that.
It's because I switched to Red Bull tonight instead of a Monster. Has
because right now it's one of those situations where it's like I'm just hanging on.
Oh, we got you, LeRon.
Yeah. Look, it was a long day for me, so I figured I better have something a little bit stronger if I'm going to survive tonight. So,
yeah.
Oh, man. Good times, everybody.
Great times.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anything new and exciting been going on for you wonderful people?
Living life, doing the things.
Yeah.
Living life, doing the things.
Staying vertical, 1 foot in front of the other.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Inhale, exhale. Hope I make it through the day.
Yeah.
On one hand, I am attending a fair where I'll be selling my books this upcoming weekend.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, speaking of filling holes, my boyfriend and I are perusing a fine selection of anal plugs.
Oh, no.
There we go.
Right.
There we go.
Well, okay, it's question time now.
It's question time.
Good. I'm glad someone's going to ask.
It's question time. Are both of y'all partaking, or is this or are these plugs just for one person?
Well, it's hard to tell because, and I don't know if this will eventually become a topic or not, but I am looking for myself. But he makes so much pegging jokes. I'm like, are you still joking, or are you serious now? Because I swear, any time it remotely can come up, he'll be like, he'll make a pegging joke about him being pegged. So I'm like,
here's time
to put your money where your hole is, boyfriend. Just saying.
Okay, that one was good. That one was good.
Bagel thought it was good too.
Bagel is just he's a whiny mess.
Here's what I've learned, because as somebody who considers himself bisexual and stuff like that, like I see a lot of stuff going on as far as like how men fall on the spectrum of gay to straight and stuff like that, and it's very fascinating, because like the one thing I've learned in my mature age right now is that if someone wants to explore their body, like, don't get in their fucking way. Don't get in their fucking way, And if they're comfortable enough to explore their body with you, you should always take that as an honor.
Yes.
I know. So, but like the last thing I want to do is strap on something and then be like, no.
When you did that, I just thought of the Star Wars episode of Family Guy. Did you say strap in or strap on?
See, when you said Family Guy, I was thinking clear. No.
No. Bring your fat ass back here.
Fuck.
Haven't seen the Paperboy in a while.
I was just wondering where the muscly-arm Paperboy was, hoping he would bring me some good news.
I forgot how good Corey was. So he had the Mr. Herbert impression.
Come on, Jesse.
Alive? Is he still alive on Family Guy, or did they finally kill him off?
I don't know. I haven't watched Family Guy in years, so I don't know.
Yeah.
No, my Seth MacFarlane only extends to the Orville now. So, although American Dad's good, but I don't have time to peruse.
Didn't American Dad just like roll into their 18th season or something like that?
Something like that. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, this has been a night for impressions.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's it.
Now one thing I can say is, like, I personally, like, even though I like anal sex, like I can't. Sorry, ladies, y'all aren't pegging me.
Now,
Sorry.
So okay, not to like. This gonna sound.
I know the question you're gonna ask.
This isn't. I'm not trying to sound insensitive, but what other kind of sex can you have?
So I think now is this like, are you asking if LeRon is a top or a bottom?
I was like, that must mean he's a top.
I mean,
no. Actually, I go both ways. Like,
okay.
Which? Okay.
Yeah,
LeRon is what they call versatile.
Exactly. Yes, you've been talking to Ed, haven't you?
No, I've done enough of these shows with you to know what's going on.
He's done enough of these shows that he looked up the word versatile in a dictionary.
To be fair, versatile is like a real word. It doesn't just pertain to sexual position.
Yeah, but of course the way our society is, like, it's always.
Well, not with that attitude.
No. Honestly, for me, it's one of those things where it's like, you know what? If someone's going to be doing the act of penetrating me, they also need to know. They also need to be able to have a sensation, so they know if something's going on. Basically, I'm not trying to get hurt. Because, like, there's no nerve endings in a strap-on toy.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to, because, like, knowing my luck, I want one of those women that, just want to take all their sexual frustration out on me as the man. And it's like I'm literally trying to, like, throw out every safe word possible.
Yeah, you don't want to detach the rectum.
Yeah,
no, you do not.
Right. Yeah.
You don't want to be shitting pancakes.
Oh God. If there's a story behind that, I don't want to know about that.
I stood up from the toilet and all I saw were Belgian waffles. I don't know what happened.
I mean, I'm a waffle guy myself.
That's the thing too, and like, like women I've been with that know I'm bisexual, and know I actually have, like, like backdoor sex,
Sure.
they always pose that question, and then the next question that comes out their mouths after I tell them what my stance is on that is like, but you allow men to do it to you, and I'm like, yeah, but at least they know they get the sensation that something might not be right. Like you have
Well,
something
but then you could also say just because I do it, that doesn't mean it's allowed for everybody. I can set a boundary here.
Oh yeah, consent culture. Yes.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah. So it's always one of those weird. It's one of those weird / funny conversations that comes up. And things like that. Like it's just a personal thing. Just like like there's also certain things that I will not do with a partner, no matter what gender they are. Well, if they ask me, hey, I'd like to do this, like I'm not qualified to do that. So I'm sorry that I can't be the one to do that, but you're more than welcome to go out there and get it done, and I'm not going to take offense to it.
Yeah, get your needs met, but
yeah. Because the other thing too, I'm very open sexual to where if there's something my partner wants from me and I'm just not capable of doing it, and I don't mean they're trying to get bring by 20 centimeters of of pleasure or something like that. It's more like there's just some things that are kind of like everybody's got to be in the same headspace to do things.
Sure.
I'm not sure if I'm ready to inflict some type of like corporal pain on you or something like that, or no, I'd rather have at the most 2 or 3 fingers inside of you, not the whole fist.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. We're trying to figure out where our line is with regard to exploration and kink. And then the other night we were watching just some porn to get in the mood, and then one of them was a girl receiving anal, but it was like this dude was hung like a horse, big fat, and I saw what her asshole looked like when he was done with her, and I literally went, oh my gosh. I'm like, listen, if we ever go in that territory, we're gonna do something gentle, just a small anal plug, not
oh yeah, whoa, yeah, you just can't just run up.
I thought her entire intestine was gonna fall out. I was like, jeez.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing how people have trained themselves to be able to withstand and actually get pleasure from that stuff. Because I'm sitting there I get it. Stretching a muscle is a wonderful feeling. Shit. Not after a good workout, like a good arm day, doing the hanging stretch and just letting your bicep to get stretched open and stuff like that. But at the same time, I don't think I kind of want that, in the back door,
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's interesting, people's sexual kinks, or whatever you want to call them, because sometimes some people think it's a kink, and sometimes some people are just like, no, this is just my everyday.
Or they can be convoluted and keep making jokes about it, leaving me confused whether or not he wants to do it or not. I don't know.
You know what? Just surprise motherfucker him one night.
Look, one night when you guys are doing your thing, just
the finger test.
Yeah,
the finger
test. The test. It's just the test.
You don't even have to slip it in. You can just kind of graze the outside and see what happens.
But see, here's the thing.
I hope he wipes though.
Here's the thing. Graze, but as a declaration of intent, don't use your pinky or your index finger. Use your thumb. See what happens.
Yeah. Look. Because with the thumb you can actually make it can be more accidental. Like a lot of guys think if it's. Because you're.
No.
Just think we're gamers. We're gamers. So the thumb is basically we have opposable thumbs for a reason.
See, to me,
it's one of the most
thumb,
dexterous parts on our body.
Here's the thing: the thumb feels really unnatural to me. If you're gonna if you're grabbing, the middle finger would be the one that you start with, because it's the most natural position. At least for me.
I see what he's saying. I see what he's saying.
To be able to get the thumb in, I'd be like,
yeah, I'd be
whoops, that was an accident.
Whoops, how'd that get in there? Huh.
No, but then you could just be like, consider yourself pegged or something like that. No.
Wear a mask with a zipper too while you're at it.
But then again, he could also be one of those men that's very comfortable in their sexuality. They can throw those jokes out there, and that's all it is.
No, because then you'll joke about a mask with a zipper, and then he'll show up wearing one, and you'll be like,
"Yeah, I thought that's what this party was."
Anyways,
Anyway, sorry I derailed that conversation.
No, you didn't derail it.
Yeah, I thought it was fine.
That was a good. That was a good icebreaker.
So, I feel like After Dark is all downhill now.
Yeah.
All
Where do we go
downhole from here?
Look,
Downhole.
19 minutes and 53 seconds. We're good. That's the episode this week. We filled
Fill
holes.
and anal plugs.
Yeah.
Pegging.
Man, we tickled the taint.
Just get a really nice lube. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Get a really nice lube.
Get one that smells nice. Again, worried about
Yeah.
the wiping situation. I mean, is he like Skids McGee here? Like, what's? I don't. You know, like I mean,
I
some
don't
people,
know.
some people don't wipe well.
properly.
Okay.
Properly.
Like
Yeah.
it's gross. First of all, it's gross.
No,
That,
Corey, you have a point. That's why I'm like afraid.
Yeah.
I'm like, I hope he thoroughly clean the area before I go anywhere near there.
especially dudes,
Well,
they don't take care of
Have
themselves.
you done some reconnaissance here, like, or some reconnaissance? I don't know if I should say it that way. Because, like,
Reconnaissance. That was a stretch.
that you tripped over a pothole there, didn't you?
I
Because-
stretched that hole. Gross. Anyways, I'm done now.
It just fell silent.
Well,
I laughed. It's fine. I'll go
as
cry
long
now.
as you did, but like, try and get little glimpses of the area, and see like how he does when he's not talking about pegging, or because here's the thing. I have a hunch, and this is just a hunch. Not like trying to cast aspersions or anything. If he keeps that area clean, he might be into it.
Yeah.
The reason being is if you plan on, having backyard activities, you're mowing the lawn.
It's fair.
Yeah,
Okay, I'll keep
yeah.
an eye out for that. Because
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
my biggest fear. Now this comes from someone who apparently is inexperienced at this, or else I wouldn't be thinking about this. Like, what if I slip my thumb in there and then I pull something out I don't want to pull out? You know?
Yeah. There's always.
Well,
there's
if you're
always
pulling
that.
something out, if you're pulling something out, then it's okay to ask the question.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I found this watch and it smells weird. What is going on?
Why is there corn in our bed? Gross.
Honestly, well, let's put it this way. Like, not everybody's gonna be prepared for something like that, but 9 times out of 10, like especially for men, if they're really self-conscious about that, they'll let you know real fast. Like, hey, it's not that I don't want this; it's just that this is not the right time.
Yeah.
My cat is not amused.
Your cat's confused.
No, she's not amused.
Oh, not amused. Well, this wasn't a Paxil conversation anyway, Missy.
Yeah,
Like-
cover your virgin ears.
Man. Good times.
Good times.
Good times. That area not for me. Just throwing that out there.
You know,
I don't like the way straight men are afraid of vibrators. I'll say that.
Wait. Because there's so many.
LeRon has
ways,
questions.
No. There's so many ways a straight man can actually partake in a vibrator. Like, it doesn't
Exactly.
have to-
That's
it
what I'm
doesn't have to
saying.
be
That's what I'm
inside of
saying.
him. It doesn't
It's a
have to be
team
inside-
member. It's not an enemy.
Yeah.
It's a team member.
Oh, that's the other. Oh,
I chose
yeah.
my words.
There's the other thing too. There's the other thing too, right? Men, like, look, like, if you can have a fleshlight, your wife can have a dildo.
Yep.
All right, that's all I'm saying.
Nope,
That's
not
all
allowed.
I'm saying. Corey's like, there's only one thing that's struck in this house.
I wonder how common a fleshlight is. Now, I don't think they're necessarily fleshlights, but I whenever I'm in a sex store, not that I'm in there frequally or anything.
Are you sure?
I
Once a week.
I would see
Rentals.
like you know how guys would buy like a pussy, like a
Yeah,
like a,
Yeah.
and there actually be molded pussies based off of like actual porn stars. It's like, this is the whatever porn star's pussy, and this porn star.
Yeah.
Dang. Wow.
Actually, I'm more invested in the texture on the inside than I am about what it looks like on the outside.
Yeah.
Because when you look at all the diagrams about how they're done and stuff, it's like, wow, like that looks like it could be fun. That looks like it might be a little painful. That looks like I don't know what the hell is going to happen. Stuff like that. Like it's really interesting.
Must be a pain to clean.
Actually, no. From what I've heard, like basically just running water, like just run water through it. And maybe,
Okay, there.
yeah, from what I've heard, yeah. I would like to own one possibly, but I'm just not in the headspace of spending $70+ for a fleshlight particular, because I feel like those little silicone rings are like just like the strokers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Nah,
If I'm going to spend $70, I better have a person wrapped around it.
Well, actually, here's a question: if any of you guys have ever used one, do you feel like if a guy were to use a fleshlight on a regular basis, do you think that would kind of ruin regular sex or from a person?
No,
I don't think so.
No, because
the sensations are
yeah,
like inanimate and in woman. I don't really know how else to say that, but like an inanimate object doesn't feel like a person.
Yeah,
Like,
the way men are, we would take any opportunity, any chance, any way to get our dicks inside somebody
true.
or something. It doesn't matter.
We're looking. I mean, we instinctively look for holes. Just saying.
Yeah.
Again, filling holes. All right, we're
I'm just
programmed.
going like devil's advocate, because if I were a dude and I have the option of, hey, use a fleshlight that feels just as good as like.
Actually, fleshlights are therapeutic though, because like it's actually been able to help men actually like go a little bit longer in the bedroom when they're actually with the partner.
Let me finish though. But if I was a dude and lazy about it, I would just stick with my fleshlight. Like, why bother going to the bar and try to pick someone up and spend money and deal with a pain in the ass? And just use the fleshlight all the time.
Okay, now we're going into incel territory.
So, I think that that point of view holds some water if you've never experienced the real thing.
Yeah.
But I've never used a fleshlight, and I'll say it. I'm a basic bitch when it comes to self pleasure. I'm good enough with my hand that I don't really need any additional help there. So I've
save some money there.
Or at least I'm just satisfied with the work that I do. I don't know.
It's fine.
But
I like the idea of sex toys, but I just don't fuck around with them that much. That's all.
See, now I partake with my partner in a sex toy. Like I do that. I am supportive of that, because that's teamwork essentially. And it's something that doing that with her and seeing her enjoy it helps me along.
Yeah, that's something. Yeah, like, but I think that's because men are visual creatures. So like,
sure,
us being in that detached mode of it, but still being there in the moment. Like it also does something for us, because I'm also the same way. I'm actually one of those people where I can say like, I don't have to have penetrative sex with you just to have a good time.
That's why we friends, LeRon.
Exactly.
I'm learning so much. I love it.
Yeah. You're hanging out with some really enlightened dudes.
And me.
The Mr. Nothing back there, Corey.
Oh, Deering, your timing. It's amazing tonight.
It's impeccable. I know. It's amazing what happens when you're awake.
Right?
Oh. If you're asleep, that's not consent.
Oh, God. Jesus. 100% correct.
Anyways, help get me out of here. Said that a few times.
Well, start your topic then.
I don't have a topic. I never call
I was actually going to say before we started, I don't have one either.
I have some that are in my pocket, unless you have one, LeRon.
Actually, I did not. Not tonight. I'm just trying to make it a Friday.
Empty them pockets, Klimov. Let's do this.
I'm just here to hang out.
I have two, and both can take a serious and funny route at the same time. So I'll lay them both out, and you guys pick, and we'll just do the other one another time.
Okay.
One of them was I had a conversation with my boyfriend and his family the other night because apparently teenagers in high school in various parts of the country can now identify as an animal and woof and meow in class and scratch and bite people. We can go down that route. Or we can talk about, I've seen some Twitter people share these articles how there are some actual religious groups that believe the cult of the lamb is satanic and want to poke fun at that. And this is coming from me. I'm a Catholic and I think that's ridiculous. So either or.
Oh man, I think we should talk about the cult of the lamb stuff because it sounds hilarious.
I kind of feel
the
like
other one sounds a little too weird for me to tackle.
Well, I don't think it's too weird. I'm just there's a whole lot of the gender identity conversation that I'm just very not qualified to talk about.
No,
and
good.
I've while I have some
gender, it's a human identifying as an animal.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
and that's the thing. Like, I feel like there's a whole bunch of missing information there with that topic.
I almost feel like it's a whole right wing thing of trying to say we're gonna fuck with you if you're one of those. My pronouns are he, they, whatever. I feel like
I think there's a legitimate high school because my boyfriend works at a high school.
Sure.
Where they're it's not a made up story, it's real. But it's okay.
No,
we can talk about that another time because I think Cult of the Lamb fits because Matt, you've been playing Cult of the Lamb, so you have plenty to throw zingers in. So let's just do that. So again, I saw a tweet. Someone was just saying, well, look at this rabbit hole we've gone down. There's several sites saying satanic kids game. So I guess there are some religious groups. It seemed mostly Christian in nature, but again, it doesn't matter if it's Christian or not. It can be any religion.
I mean, I would just say wait till they get a load of Diablo.
But I think the way they're
wait till they see Doom.
Well, I think the way they're spinning it is because Cult of the Lamb looks like a kid's game or has cute characters, and therefore it's extra diabolical because it's gonna trick kids into being satanic.
Right.
So that's where I wanted to start with on the ridiculousness of it. And again, I'll just quickly start because I'm Catholic. I consider myself a decently religious person. I'm just quiet about it.
Sure.
I used to think about where do we draw the line about creative media versus religion, and I was lucky enough to have a religion teacher because I went to Catholic school who was a huge Lord of the Rings fan. So we as obnoxious teenagers try to poke holes at that, well, you teach the Catholic religion, how could you be a huge fan of Lord of the Rings? But she just said it's a story. If you don't have the mental comprehension to know it's a fictional story and enjoy it for what it is, then I don't know what to tell you. So go ahead, LeRon.
I always feel like this is one of the fundamental reasons why I stopped taking religion so seriously. Because my whole thing is, and I wonder if it's because they have so much belief in the Bible, which is a book. It's a sacred book, but but it's a book that they feel like every other book that could enter someone's life, could influence them the same way. And I don't know. I feel like anyone with any practical common sense knows the difference between fiction and reality. But I guess it's hard to say that when we can't even prove that everything in the Bible is true. So we have to say this has to be fiction. We have to say that. And I'm not saying this to be disrespectful for anybody that has religious views, because I have family members who are deeply religious, and a lot of them, my mother included, believe that it is by the grace of God or whatever deity that they are still alive and kicking to this day and stuff like that. So I don't disrespect people's religions on that, but I do have to wonder about their level of common sense and interpretation with things about how the world is, stuff like that, because this is a fucking video game.
Well, see, that's what it comes down to, in my opinion, real quick. It's common sense because my religion teacher taught the Catholic religion to us, and she's all like, enjoy Lord of the Rings and stuff like that, because again, it's common sense. If you can discern fiction from nonfiction, go right ahead. But I kind of want to ask Matt, since you've been playing Cult of the Lamb, what are some things in there? I mean, I guess I can kind of guess. Like, what do you think that they could possibly be having an issue of? Because it seems more satirical, if anything. That you're making a cult.
So, as someone who grew up, like the beginning of my life was pretty religious, and then there was a break in that, and then some high school trauma happened, and I went back. I didn't go back to Catholicism, like I was baptized. I went back to a friend of mine invited me to their Christian youth group, and I just started going to that. In Cult of the Lamb, I can see the thin arguments that they're trying to make, because you do go into a church, you do conduct ceremonies, you do there is a ritual you can perform which drugs your followers, so that's so your faith meter stays at full for 2 in-game days.
Wait. Okay. I'm on page now. For a second there, I disconnected and I was like, wait, what? And that, I'm back. I'm following you now.
Like, and there's all sorts of things like that, but those are also things that are associated with cults that have made a pop culture impression. Like the Waco, Texas David Koresh thing in the 90s, like it was pretty well known that they were doing similar things.
Now fear mongering like that, I understand, because like there are a lot of weak-minded people that,
Sure.
can fall into stuff like that. I mean, like, look at the whole Nerium thing that happened a couple of years ago, stuff like that. That was, wait, is it Nerium or am I think it was Nerium. The whole thing where like a whole bunch of Hollywood people were involved in this shit, and it was basically a sex cult. Is that
the one that girl from Smallville was in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forget what that was.
Yeah.
I'm looking it up right now.
I remember, but then like it was also like there's also
Nexium.
Okay, and then there was but like the Hale Bop folks from the late 90s.
Quick, like,
yeah,
that's confusing because Nexium in pharmacist world is a medication to help with your heartburn.
Yeah, but in this case, Nexium
literal
was like,
it was that's literal heartburn.
Yeah,
Nexium was dealing with heartburn.
Oh.
Right. Yeah. And so and that's the other thing too. Like I think religious people latch onto this whole thing whenever it's called a cult, and stuff like that. It's automatically like like negative, which is why like Satanists, like the Satanist is not. I'm not sure if it's a religion or a movement or whatnot. It's funny because they're just anti-church. They're like an extreme version of atheists.
Sure.
Like they're not devil worshippers and stuff like that, but they use the name because it triggers religious people and stuff like that.
Well, see, now getting back to what Stephanie was saying about it being a story, like Lord of the Rings being a story, feasibly. There's a point where the Bible was just a story. Now, I'm not trying to start that argument here, but this is a book that was written and then translated multiple times and then reworked. However it was reworked, there are places you can find that stuff out, and then it's been translated since that reworking. So really, this is just a game of telephone through time across different languages, some still living, some dead. And so much of the inaccuracies in said translations have been called into question, but the right type of religious folks don't want to hear that. They want to be able to push their beliefs in their specific ways that makes them feel good.
Yeah.
Because like, here's the thing, and then Scientology has emerged in the last 60 years now. I don't remember when LeRon Hubbard wrote Dianetics or whatever it's called, but like, what's the difference between that and the Bible?
Right.
Like the Bible just took place in a real place on Earth. I don't know anything about Dianetics. I've not read it, and I don't plan on reading it. But like, I believe that it's the alien embedded themselves in a volcano, however long ago, and that's the beginning of Scientology. I don't know. My whole point is, as someone who is not necessarily anti-religious, not really atheist, I tend to rely on a sacred text very much like I would try and see a movie from a personal perspective. I won't necessarily look at the characters in that work as me, but I would see what they do and try and take the lessons as they apply, rather than just say, oh, well, Indiana Jones and his dad went to the Crescent Canyon and that happened, whereas maybe he's just like, it's more about he and his dad going on an adventure together and bonding that way. Like, there's a certain abstract quality that where you can extract the lessons and the ideas without necessarily relying on everything being historical fact.
Yeah, honestly, that's kind of the way I look at the Bible. Like the Bible is something that I can't say I've actively been doing it lately, but I've been sitting down trying to read like passages and scriptures from the Bible and stuff, just because I want to get the whole picture. But that's something that I am working on coming to my myself and things like that. And I would also love to find, like, because apparently our Bible as it stands right now is missing 2 books. Like, apparently there's a book of Enoch, I think.
Enoch, yeah.
And there's one other book that it's slipping my brain which one is missing. But one's Old Testament, one's New Testament. Mm-hmm. And they're not in the Bible because apparently they were just way too controversial, And I'm like, that stuff was way too like, I've read some of the Bible and some of the stuff I've seen is very controversial. Like,
yet Leviticus remains.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, and that's why I also feel like like in situations like I feel like it's a power play to like control people and stuff like that. It's not that I distrust like religion. I distrust the people who are the biggest chest thumpers about it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the people that have an issue with Cult of the Lamb are probably the same people who take issue with Harry Potter.
It's fucking Westboro Baptist Church.
Yep.
And this is a non-religious example, but it's kind of almost how I view how government officials blame video games for school shootings. Like, it's just, I don't know.
I think that is a control issue. Because I guarantee you, like 80% of those politicians, like they know they're being deceptive about that stuff.
Oh yeah, 100%.
My whole thing is like like when people march, like I just saw something. It was a spectacle, on the judiciary on the Senate floor, where I can't remember all the details, but basically they had an expert that was a legal professional. Like like testifying in front of Congress, like giving her not so much thoughts and opinions, but more like spoken fact, and they were condescending to her, or like one particular like congressperson was condescending to her and stuff like that. I can't remember all the details because I kind of caught a clip of it and I was like, I need to watch it later. But like there are people out there who willfully try to not so much deflect, but basically like redirect messages and stuff like that. You know, it's like you got somebody that's a bona fide expert. They're telling you how it is, and you will do everything you can to shut them down, like stuff like that. That is fucking despicable.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, anyway, I just kind of brought that up because, again, like, especially from my perspective, where I do consider myself a person of faith.
Sure.
You know, I am a Catholic.
Mhm.
I mean, I have my own version. I'm like super, like, I'm just here.
Yeah.
So coming from that, even for me, because I'm also a writer, I write fantasy, for Pete's sake. Like, I love this kind of stuff. So when I look at Cult of the Lamb, for me, from a creative standpoint, I see it almost as kind of like a satire on cults.
Oh,
so to
sure.
speak.
Oh yeah, that's
And I
what
love
it is.
satire. So even as a Catholic, when I see that, I am not seeing this as a video game that's trying to convert children into to believing in Satan or something insane.
And
yeah,
honestly, and I don't even think this game is rated for kids anyway. Isn't it rated teen for teen? Is it
I
teen?
believe.
Well,
I
and see,
believe
that's
it
the other thing. It's like, come on, guys, like age appropriate. It's the same thing. Like, what's a really, like, would you let your 6-year-old play Silent Hill? Like, I don't know. It's use your common sense. Again, it's all falls down to common sense. And I just figured I'd bring it up because.
Well, I think it's because they think video games is a child's medium in the first damn place, and,
Yeah.
and shit. More adults like participate in gaming than kids do. Like when did that dynamic flip? Did it flip in the late '90s? Like more adults were playing video games than kids were.
I would say
I think-
somewhere probably around like the PS2 era.
Yeah,
It probably flipped somewhere around the PS2 era, but somewhere between that and with the rise of gaming on your phone.
yeah. I mean, shit. Like I hear people who are parents now. They're like, you know, it's almost like they have to force their kids to sit down and play video games with them. The kids aren't interested in video games.
Like for a long time, my mom said, "Well, I don't play video games." I'm like, "Let's look at your phone." Oh, look, there's 7 on your home screen. Those are video. No, they're on my phone. That doesn't count.
My mom was one of the biggest.
Actually.
My mom was one of the biggest people. I was like, if you don't turn that mess off, and I literally I got a notification on my phone, and it was an invite to play a game, and I was like, who sent me this invite? And it was my mom, and I was like, so I immediately called her because the first thing I thought, I was like, did her shit get hacked? And no, she was legit playing it.
And those
She's like, I
aren't
need these
video
Candy Crush lives.
Gosh, I mean, how do you think Nikolai loves Link from The Legend of Zelda so much? He didn't just like spontaneously decide to pick that franchise.
Turn that shit on.
I don't know.
What would I introduce one of my kids to? Like I feel like Metro would be too hard for my kid to introduce them, so I'd have to interest in Mega Man or something. I'd have interest in one of the easier Mega Man games because Mega Man 1 and 2 will give them fits.
Yeah. So my kids, or my daughter, was introduced to Pokemon and Sonic because my nephews are really into Pokemon and Sonic, and now she like knows all of them, but she doesn't know they're from like video games or anything, right? But like every time we go over there, my nephews are like whipping out all these Pokemon cards, and she's like, "There's a Pikachu." I'm like, "Yeah, Pikachu."
Wait, was it? I could be making this up in my head. Back when Pokemon really first took off, didn't some religious groups also take issue
Yes.
with Pokemon?
Yeah.
I forgot
Oh, yeah.
why.
Oh yeah, anything that's been popular, video game wise, has.
But I'm like, there's nothing touching religion or of anything of the religious ilk in Pokemon. I'm just like trying to remember what the argument was. I don't know.
I don't remember.
I believe it's all just straw man arguments
Yeah.
at its strongest.
Mm-hmm.
But so like I can see the arguments where it would be that, but I also think that like in the realm of satire, there is like Cult of Lamb is very good cult satire, whereas Far Cry 5 was not.
Far Cry 5 hit a little too close to home because
Far Cry 5 was just like
yeah,
no.
because no,
That
I
was
remember.
the one where you were fighting cult leaders.
Yeah, Oh, and I remember there were people taking umbrage, and I was like, do you realize that you sitting here crying foul about it is putting a spotlight on you right now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. But no, Cult of Lamb is not. I can, looking at it, just stepping back. Of course, religious organizations would make the arguments because the signposts are there, and it's the lowest of low hanging fruit. But I don't think it holds water personally.
Well, yeah, it's because they've lost too many battles trying to fight Grand Theft Auto. So like they gotta go after a more blatant target now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, funny that you mentioned, Matt. Like, I'm surprised. I mean, unless they have, and I just haven't been paying attention. Like, why aren't they attacking something like a little bit more? I don't know.
Provocative.
Like Diablo, like you just said, Diablo is like a perfect example. So I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's because they moved on. Like honestly, because I remember there was a time when Dungeons and Dragons was like the hot topic.
Oh yeah, I played Dungeons and Dragons in middle school and high school, and my parents were worried about me.
Mine too. Like as a matter of fact, my parents were worried so much that it turned me off from wanting to play it.
And then we started playing Magic the Gathering, and my mom was like, "What's Magic the Gathering? Explain this to me." I'm like, "Okay, here's all these cards." She's like, "Oh my God, it's demons." I go, "Mom, no, they're not demons. Honestly, this is just math. This is math, and those are pictures. The pictures mean nothing. You look at the math. Like that's what you do. Like that's all. That's all Dungeons and Dragons is like. I get to put a hat on and roll some dice. Like I don't really know what you want from me here.
You got a hat?
I did at the time.
Oh, speaking of hats, when I was at PAX East, I saw the Devolver Digital booth, and they were giving up Cult of the Lamb little hats.
Aw.
Mm.
And I wore one, but then the chin strap got itchy, so I took it off. I don't know where it is. Anyway, so that's that.
That's very Catholic of you, Steph. No, I'm kidding.
I don't know if there's anything else y'all wanted to add. That was a little bit shorter than I thought, but I just thought it was interesting to bring up. Very relevant.
Well, I think ultimately the problem is that some people just don't take the time to look into what they're getting ready to fight.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean really, because I guarantee you if they sat down and checked out Cult of the Lamb, they probably enjoy it and want to play and beat it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, I think about all the video games I played, since I was a kid and shit, and I'm not some demented fool that's trying to raise demons and have out of body experience. Well, I kind of want an out of body experience, but
I mean, that sounds pretty dope. Really.
Yeah, it does actually. Shit, if I could astral project myself, hell yes.
I mean, I tried, but it involves candles, and I'm afraid of fire, so I just kind of.
But I mean, yeah, I've done make believe in my head, but the make believe is nothing like what these people swear up and down would happen if I were to play Grand Theft Auto, or if I were to play fucking Devil May Cry, or shit, heaven forbid, I play fucking what was the fucking game? Visceral Games made it, Dante's Inferno.
Oh man, that game was cool though.
Yeah, it was. It was.
The dick physics in that game.
Man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
I've
serious.
never heard of dick physics.
Oh.
Just like how there was.
Did you play The Order?
Oh yeah, another good one.
There's a lot of dick physics in that game. There is
Yeah. I mean, it's just incredible because I've played a lot of video games. I've watched a lot of movies and shit. And, I'm not some sick, twisted person that they swear I would have become just from I've read a whole bunch of books. I've played a whole bunch of tabletop games and stuff. I'm not worshiping the devil. Hey, I guess my sexual activity may be considered deviant, but beyond that, I'm not doing anything that's harming anybody.
See, I think the trick is there, and I hate to sound, tinfoil hat conspiracy theory here, But more often than not, the people doing the most talking aren't the people that are trying to control the message. And I kind of feel like all of that is it's all of that is some weird distraction from something else. And I don't always know what that something else is.
Yeah.
Also, like the amount of content and of questionable nature that I've consumed in my life, by the logic that these folks are putting out, I should have probably committed suicide in the name of several deities multiple times at this point. And I think that they also don't want to. I think there's also a lack of wanting to engage with the hard conversation that is actually there. It's way easier to blame video games, rock and roll, or movies than mental health.
Actually,
than explore the thing. Like working in healthcare, especially when you work in an ER situation. Like I work around a lot of jaded nurses and x-ray techs that have a lot of things to say about patients that come in as drug addicts. And you get the short-sighted, it's a disease, and I'm like, there's so much nuance that you don't understand about this. I almost would rather you just not say it around me. And they're like, why is it a disease? If it's a disease, what's the cure? I'm like, I think addiction is a disease in very much like cancer is. It's not just a foreign, agent came in and got me sick. It's not just a virus that has attached itself to cells in my body. Addiction is something that is catalyzed, like a chemistry reaction, rather than being like it's latent until you activate it almost. I'm not a chemist. I'm not a physicist, and I don't plan on being. But it seems to me that it's more like that than anything else. Yeah. Whereas cancer is something that is now. You could probably correct me more than anything here, Stephanie. But cancer, from what I know, it's actually developed by the body. Like it develops out of the body's tissue. It's not like something that shows up, sets up shop, and it's not external. That's my understanding. I'm not a doctor. I'm not. It's a very base level understanding. And when you start looking at it in a different light, the conversation will always change, and it won't always be something that you can just single answer away. And people looking for a soundbite will always want the shortest distance between those 2 points.
That's the truth.
So
that's the honest truth.
So if you play video games, you are going to shoot up a school. If you listen to rock and roll, you are going to do drugs, drink alcohol, and have lots of sex.
Yeah.
Hashtag goals, Senator. I don't know what you want.
It's more like I will be driven to shoot up a place if I keep hearing you say some bullshit like this.
Yeah. And yeah, so
I love it. Well put, sir.
It's way more difficult than anybody wants to acknowledge, and until we as a collective start asking, how can we solve the tough problems?
They're always going to look for the easy fix.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, bagel.
Bagel.
If I bring him in here, he will just be so loud. I promise to anybody that listens to this, I don't torture my dog. That is just his sound.
That's okay.
Well,
He
you know what?
barks when he hears things outside, and he whines when he's separated from his mother and I.
It's fair.
Poor thing. Poor thing. You know what? We're gonna throw Bagel a bone. We're gonna go ahead and wrap this show up.
Aw.
All right, so thanks, Matt, once again for coming and hanging out with us. It's always a pleasure when you're here with us. So please keep coming back.
I will fill the hole whenever I'm needed.
And we're back. All right, everybody. Well, this has been Boss Rush After Dark, the alternative podcast show for the flagship show of the Boss Rush Network. Before we head out, here's how you can get with and stay connected to us. Wow, Bagel is like, I've had enough.
He's like, I thought you were editing this, LeRon.
Hey, Matt, let everybody know where they can find you at.
You can find me at infinite_rewind on Twitter. I do host a couple other podcasts. You can find them. The movie one is Freereeling It at Freereeling It on Twitter, and the music one is at Trivial Merit on Twitter as well. Leave the full explanation in the main show, or you can just find them through me. I talk about them a lot, so yeah, infinite_rewind everywhere I want to be.
All right, cool. Stephanie, you're up.
People can find me. I can't come up with any hole-filling analogies, but on Twitter and Instagram at Klimov_author. Regularly Wednesday night.
Klimov _hole author.
Oh, there you go.
Whoa.
Boss Rush Podcast, bossrush.net.
All right, Corey.
You can find me at I am Corey in HD on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me on the Boss Rush Podcast, Nintendo Power Block, and other things here on the Boss Rush Network.
The whole shebang.
Yes.
All right.
I fill all the holes. It's exhausting.
And you can find me on social media. You can find me on social media, YouTube, Twitch, PlayStation Network, and Steam by looking up XS803. If you have a PlayStation size, PC size, or Xbox size hole that you need to get filled, Tuesday nights on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/XS803, the Crossroads PlayStation. Oh wow. It's been a long time since I've slipped and said that. The Crossroads Video Game Podcast on my channel, like 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Check us out. I appreciate everyone for coming and hanging out tonight. I appreciate everyone out there that's listening to us and stuff like that. Remember, consider being one of our patrons over at Patreon. Like, we would love you if you do it, and it helps keep more shows like this coming, where we talk about holes, we talk about pegging, we talk about religious nut jobs and everything else. Come back with us, or we'll be back for another episode of Boss Rush After Dark. What, next week, right? Yeah, we do this every week.
I think so.
Late breaking news. Sony has just announced that they will change the button layout on the DualSense. It'll now be triangle, square, cross, and hole.
All right.
Awesome.
As a reminder, this is a show that's never content appropriate for our flagship and for our other anchor shows in the Boss Rush Network. We love you. Have a good night, y'all.
Goodbye.
Bye.
In the words of Nick Cave, I want you to dig.